Hello everyone. This video is about a whole lot of bugs and a few tips, so I'm just going to get right into it. If you want to see the people who showed the bugs or have the tips or some other links, check the description. This first one is the Doomsayer in Lumbridge, and it was just I don't know, I found it surprisingly funny. I'm not sure what was so funny about it, but it was just a little bit odd. This next one is one that I found myself, which was that there were 2 Death Lotus assassins in a single barrel in player-owned ports, and who knows what they're doing in there. Next we have a little bug in Clan Wars, and to get to this one you just go directly north of the entrance and you're just standing on the air there. It's a little bit odd, but yeah, not game breaking by any means. The next one, actually the next 2 have to do with the Artisan set, which is one of those skilling sets from the School of Fortune. I believe it's for crafting, and the Artisan's top makes your hands stick together, which is a very unusual effect. I've never seen any item do that before. Not sure how that happened. And then the Bandana does something quite odd as well, and that is cutting out a big chunk of your face. So, anyway, yeah, I'm not sure how those happened, or how they got by testing, but that's that. The next one is a tip slash a utility, I suppose, and this one is a big Slayer calculator, so it works based off of a whole lot of data that has been recorded over a long period of time, just average amount of tasks and the experience you get and average number of monsters per task and a lot of other things. And so you put in a bit of your account's information in there, like your current Slayer experience and how much you want to get, and it'll come out with a lot of information for you. And that's on Google Spreadsheets, which as far as I know is completely safe. But yeah, if you're not trusting in that, then don't click the link in the description. This next one is a rather old one, actually. It's a weird little area to the east of Sarah God Wars. If you stand in Sarah God Wars and use an Orb of Oculus, you can take a look at this. I have no idea what it's from or what it's supposed to be. It's just been there for a very long time. Yeah. This next one isn't a bug, it's just sort of a weird thing. This is the Gorak area, which you can get to through the fairy rings, and there are these clouds along the edge, and I hadn't realized, but you can actually walk inside them. Just, yeah, something that I had not known for a very long time. So, yeah, that's really it, just sort of a little random thing there. And this next one is a tip about range weaponry, and I'm showing here a comparison between black salamanders with a royal crossbow, and it's not really a fair comparison, of course, because the royal crossbow is level 80 and the black salamander is level 70, but for a level 70 weapon it's really good. It's a two-handed range weapon, and it costs under 2k, and the ammo is about 200 GP each. So it's incredibly cheap to use. I highly recommend using it if you're doing range PKing. It's a great option. Next is a little bug to the west of the Mage Training Area, and you can sort of walk into the rocks. It's quite odd. I'm not quite sure what happened there, but again, it's harmless. You can just walk through a couple rocks. Pyramid Plunder. Okay, so this bug is pretty cool. It only works in the 5th room, and what you do is you click to go into the spikes, and then you run back as fast as possible, and it'll push you into the walls, because it's set to push you back 1 spot, and since the wall's there, you have to go into it, I suppose. Next is the Toctiz Dill in Dominion Tower. I'm not sure if it would work in the actual boss fight. I'm actually not quite sure what even causes it, to be honest. I had to fight it for a little while, a couple minutes, to get the bug to appear, but it's just a weird little graphical glitch. This next one is in player-owned ports, and so what happens here is if you go to your shipyard and then you go back to an area, it sets you down onto the ground level. So if you do it in the bar there and you're on the balcony, it'll set you underneath into this area, and you can't move or anything, but it's just a little bit odd. This next one, it's actually 2 things. So first of all, this one sort of blew my mind when I found out about it. You can put emotes in your action bar. I did not know that at all, and I will look forward to that when I get my comp cape back, because it'll make it a lot easier than scrolling through the emote list, which is a bit bloated at the moment. They have so many emotes in there, it's a little awkward to go through that. And the next one is using logs on a fire and then doing an emote as you use the log, and it makes you do the emote but your character just stands still. So for emotes that have like that tornado thing coming down, it would show the tornado but you just don't move. Yeah, not a big deal, but it's a little bit odd. The next one is a couple of the snelms, and I know for a fact that the blood and tar snelm shown here has the head thing. That is actually a relatively common bug. I'm not sure why that would be a common thing, but it does happen. The next one is the unicorn mask, which is a treasure trail reward, and when you sit down or do emotes, it makes a few points stay stuck in one place, and then the rest of them are on the head as normal, but it makes a really weird effect. These next two are healing related, and the first one is about kebabs, which are a low level healing food, but if you take a look at their actual healing value, it says question mark, question mark, question mark, and that's because they actually have a variable amount of healing that they can do. For me, I think it was 517, we'll see in a second here, but the thing is that they don't drain your adrenaline when you eat them, so that is one advantage to them, I suppose. It's not a big deal at all, but it's sort of cool. And then the other healing thing is something that most people probably already know, but being in a bank heals you completely. And I've thought of 3 banks that this could be useful for. First off, desert goats. If you're really low level, obviously it isn't useful for me, but if you're really low level and you're killing goats to get the goat horns, you could just heal in Narda Bank. That's a very convenient option. And for higher levels, possibly killing the vampire guys in Darkmire or killing elves in Leia. I probably mispronounced that, but those might be good options for that. And then the final tip in this video is something that I don't think many people know about at the moment, but it's very, very overpowered, and it's using a Forge Regent familiar. And for those of you who don't know, this is I don't really remember what level, but I know what its scroll does, and that's the important thing. Its scroll, you use the scroll and you click on your target, and it has a chance of unequipping their weapons, which pre-EOC was annoying, yes, but it wasn't a really big deal. In the EOC though, if your weapon gets unequipped and you have to re-equip it, you get the 2-second cooldown, and it's just really, really irritating. And so yeah, that's if you haven't used it before, it's a very, very useful option. And I did actually try going PKing with it. It did not work out very well. I'm not exactly sure what the guy did, but he destroyed me. He made all of his damage splats hit all at once, and yeah, that didn't work out very well for me. But yeah, that's it for this video. So if you enjoyed it, please give it a thumbs up. It took quite a while to put together. Lots of clips. I actually went through over like 80 messages in my inbox. I just wanted to clear it out before I go back to school, because yeah, that way I don't have to go through it while I have actual work to get done. So that's it. Thanks for watching, and I hope you guys enjoyed.